Guy Powell here, and welcome to the next episode of the Backstory on Marketing and AI. And if you haven't already done so, please visit ProRelevant.com and sign up for all of these episodes and podcasts. I am the author of the upcoming new book, The AI Marketing Machine, and you can find out more information on that at marketingmachine.prorelevant.com. Today I'm interviewing Marla Schilling. She's with Zayo, and let me tell you a little bit about her. She leads brand and content strategy at Zayo with a background in sciences, competitive athletics. She combines analytical expertise, communication skills, and leadership in her approach to marketing. Marla holds a bachelor's degree from Ithaca College and a master's degree from the University of Northern Colorado. Marla, welcome. So good to have you.
Thanks so much, Guy. I'm so happy to be here and have this conversation today.
Yeah, thank you. And so tell us your backstory on how you got involved in AI and marketing and what your story is.
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey to get to where I am is not a complete straight line. So I went to Ithaca College. I got a bachelor's in exercise science, and then I pursued a master's degree in exercise physiology, and I wanted to do research. And so I did that for a bit, kind of before getting into the marketing realm. I love writing, and I love being creative. And so marketing was just a really, really great path for me that I didn't really realize that I wanted until, a few years after I got my master's. So currently I am at Zayo. I've been at Zayo for about 6 years. Zayo is a communications infrastructure provider. And at Zayo, I oversee our brand content and our social functions as well. From an AI perspective, I recently got into leveraging AI about, I would say, a little over a year ago. And I worked really closely with my CMO. And as many marketers can attest to, we have a small, lean team, and our goal was to be more efficient, more productive, and just kind of do more with less. And so I dove headfirst into all things AI and really embraced it over the past year. And so that's kind of me in a nutshell, Guy.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's interesting background shift from exercise science over to marketing. Well, good for you. It's so good to see new marketers having all of this wonderful background to be able to add it to the quality of their marketing. So what have you been able to do in implementing AI to support your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started off using it as a way to complement our content team. So as I keep mentioning, we have a lean team. And so using AI as a source of content ideation, generating outlines, helping us with social posts, using it, that it was a great starting point for blogs, ebooks, whatever we were working on. From there, we kind of expanded. One day I uploaded a spreadsheet into ChatGPT and started to kind of use it as a way to analyze some data. So I put in some data from our social platform, and it was able to, give me optimal posting times, what content was resonating best with our audience. And it kind of got me to the point that I could know how a post would perform before I even posted it, because it gave me such great insights. And it was able to look at so much data so quickly, which was really interesting. We're still, crawling when it comes to data-driven insights with AI, but trying to test things out. And then I think I do want to mention that we are also looking at AI as a partner in strategy. So not just execution, really trying to improve content performance, improve social performance, and have it help us with some strategic lessons and takeaways that we can apply to our marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that I found with, we do a lot of work with regulated industries, so healthcare and financial services, and what's kind of scary, but I kind of understand as well, is ChatGPT and any of the AI platforms are kind of cut off totally. And unfortunately, there's really two sides to AI. One of them is the tactical, kind of like you're talking about in terms of generating content and using that to improve the quality of your execution. But there's also the strategic side to be able to use Chat GPT and AI to really be able to look at some of the strategic questions, and those are also blocked. And what I'm kind of seeing and what I'm kind of recommending for especially these regulated industries is to start to split the function between, well, what's going to happen on the outside that people are going to see versus what's going to happen on the inside to improve your strategic questions and decision making. So yeah, great that you're starting to do that. So now you've done quite a bit in social media. Tell us how AI has really supported you in social media.
Yeah, so about a year ago, I took over our social media function. And at that same time, our social media manager was departing the company, totally unrelated. And my initial reaction was, I have to backfill this role as soon as possible. But during this time, we were also assessing the team's resources, workflows, and efficiencies. And as you mentioned, I also lead brand and content. And so we kind of came to the realization that a generalist might make more sense to fill in numerous gaps across teams versus just fill in this one social gap. While this would, solve some other problems, obviously I had to figure out how to maintain our social presence without that dedicated headcount and without taking on a full-time job, in addition to my duties. So that's kind of where AI comes in. I implemented Jasper and ChatGPT. Jasper is a content-specific Gen AI tool, and the reason I love it is because you can upload content and have it remix it into different types of content. So, for example, I can write a blog post and it can generate a social post for me from that blog post. And you can upload your brand guidelines, voice and tone. And so it can really get you about 80% of the way there. I am a huge advocate for that human touch. I think AI can get you, some way of the way there, but you have to put that human optimization on. But it takes out a lot of the time that's associated with, things social. So implemented that. I also started, as I mentioned, using ChatGPT to upload spreadsheets and kind of get some insights. And in the past, our social media manager was, neck deep in looking at data and coming up with insights. And, ChatGPT can do this in just a couple of seconds. And that was super powerful. So after about a year of doing this, we had great success. After we implemented these tools, we saw a 90% increase from our total engagement year over year. Our average engagement rate increased 50% year over year. We increased our social following by 30%, and social is now our number 4 traffic driving source to our website. So pretty interesting to know that, we took away that dedicated resource and had a pretty great year when it comes to social.
Yeah, that's those are some pretty fascinating and impressive statistics. 90% and 50%. It's hard to beat that, that's for sure. So what are some of the challenges that you had in adopting AI in your organization, and what did you do to get past them?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest challenges, and this happened early on, was the fear of job displacement. So as I mentioned, my CMO came to me and we kind of ideated on what we thought the future of AI for the marketing organization would look like. And she was a big advocate of bringing everyone along for the ride and not making it a mandate from the top down. So that's what I did. I brought my team along. So we all looked at different platforms. We were on calls. We tested them. We tried things. And everybody had a voice in how we were going to leverage to better our team and to better individuals versus this being a mandate. So I think that narrative of, focusing on the opportunity, it's important because, like I said, there was hesitation in the beginning. People didn't want to try Chat GPT, especially in like the content creative realm. I think there's a lot of fear with job displacement. So I think that was a huge challenge that we had to overcome, and we've definitely overcome it. The team is very involved. They love it, and it's going well now.
So do you see yourself generating through your team, especially your content generation team, developing more content and or higher quality content, or both? How do you see that the mix of like quality and quantity?
Yeah, so from the day that I started focusing on content, it's always for me been around quality. I don't think quantity of content really makes sense. We shouldn't track quantity. But I mean, let's face it, we do need to get content out there. We have a lot of personas we talk to. We have a ton of different industries that we sell to at Zayo. So we need content that is tailored to those individuals. Otherwise, the message will fall flat. So I think AI has allowed us to do that because we can tailor the message to hit different audiences. And that's a tall order even for, a large team to be able to do. So AI really helps us get there. And you know me, I'm all about data. So I came with some data from our content perspective and with, the team not growing year over year, after implementing AI, we were able to increase our total visits to our blog by 160%. Our organic traffic went up by over 300%. And I think, a lot of that has to do with AI. AI is able to help us with SEO, making sure that, we're touching all of those things. And I think, those results are a testament to the team, but also a testament to how the team leverages AI as that strategic partner.
Yeah, wow. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you for that. So, did you run into any governance issues on how AI was going to be used, or was it blocked at all for you initially, or?
So it wasn't blocked, and it's something that's still in progress with SEO, to be honest. We are exploring, bringing this internal, creating our own Gen AI platform. There's a team around that. We have a few folks from marketing testing it, giving input. And so eventually that will be what we're using. But bias, data privacy, security, they were all major concerns as we were looking at different vendors. And then just like education for the marketing team, right? Making sure that everything that we're putting in is truly external information. So from my team's perspective, everything that we're doing, everything that we're publishing, it is external focused. So we just make sure that we are, putting those governance practices in place. But they could be better, and that's what we're working on and making sure that we adhere to that for the safety of everything.
Now, how do you handle like some of the hallucination or some of the errors that AI might generate? Is that part of your governance or part of your processes in some fashion?
Yeah, so we did create guidelines that ensure that there's always, I am always talk about that human touch. So everything that AI is generating always needs to be reviewed. So whether that's by me, somebody on my team, but there is never a scenario where we are getting AI to create something and then using that verbatim. We are going through with a fine tooth comb and really, really making sure that it upholds our brand. Everything is accurate. Because for our customers, we need to ensure that. So we are really, really proactive about all of that.
Yeah, very good. Because you never know. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was saying, from a when you're trying to have facts and for different reasons, then he was finding like 5 to 10% of the time it seemed like the things were just wrong. They were just wherever they were just coming from some weird source or whatever. But 90% was good. But nevertheless, you don't want to have 10% wrong.
Oh, absolutely. So important to validate any, especially like you mentioned, numbers, facts, very, very important.
Yeah, yeah. So where do you think you'll be in 3 years with AI?
So I think having AI fully integrated into our workflow, so moving beyond just content generation, but again, helping with strategy, segmenting audiences. Audiences are really demanding personalized experiences. So I see AI helping us with that, predicting trends. I think it can be a very powerful tool. I also think AI can help really amplify humans' creativity. I don't believe that it will actually replace creativity. I think that's where the human comes in and why humans will always have to put their touch on things. But I do think it can provide inspiration, have us, think about different angles. I think it's already doing that a little bit as I use it. And so I think that's where we'll be as a company. I think for myself, I've had this tremendous learning curve over the past year of, just starting with ChatGPT and really leveraging it in different ways than I ever anticipated possible. So really continuing to be a confident leader in the AI space, continue learning. I think that's the biggest thing. It is changing so quickly. In fact, I was out for 3.5 months on maternity leave in 2024, and pre-leave and post-leave, it changed so surprisingly, and I think staying on top of those curves is going to be really important for any marketer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're running out of time here, but I did have one last question for you, and that is, what advice would you give to a an up and coming marketer?
Yeah, so I had a manager tell me once to be curious and not perfect. And so marketing is really about experimenting and about being creative. And don't wait for that perfect idea. Try things, fail quick, learn from the results, and pivot. So I think that is something that's really stuck with me and helped me in my career. Separately, I think embracing AI early. So AI isn't here to take your job. It's to make it easier. It's to make you into something better and more marketable. And so I think the marketers who are embracing AI and learning how to use AI will be the ones that companies want to hire. And I do think it's going to be a job prerequisite in the future. So embrace it, get good at prompting. I use something called Trace I found a while ago. It's called task, request, actions, context, example. That's kind of in my head every time I do any prompting. And the better the prompt, the better the output and the more efficient and the output is. So that is my advice for somebody in marketing and looking to get in the job market.
Yeah, fantastic. I like that. I'll look that up. That's an interesting way to look at prompting. Well, Marla, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And thank you for participating and your insights and the things that you're doing. It sounds like you're making a lot of progress there. Where can people go to find out more about your company and maybe even reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Zayo.com for anything company related. And then find me on LinkedIn. Always happy to chat AI prompting, anything around AI in the marketing space.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, that was wonderful. And for the audience, definitely stay tuned for many more of these videos on the series of the backstory on marketing and AI. And please visit marketingmachine.prorelevant.com and find out more about my upcoming book, The AI Marketing Machine. And if you like this episode, please rank it with 5 stars. I'm definitely going to do that. Marla, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kai.